But speaking about money and all that stuff, the other thing that happened on Thursday was Operation Twist was extended by the Federal Reserve to the end of the year to get employment growth back on track. It's also the subject of a new low-budget movie. Here's a sneak preview.
Please, sir, I want some more.
What? What? Ask for more?
And here's the real Ben Bernanke announcing the $267 billion expansion of Operation Twist.
We've taken a step today, which is a substantive step, which will provide additional accommodation for the economy. And again, we're prepared to do more. We have to get, I think, further information about the state of the economy, about where things are going, about what's happening in Europe.
I think I prefer him as the Beatle. That was great.
And the ABC working overtime. I love the two little boys in the background. Who are they? That's the Greek Prime Minister going, are we allowed to ask for more? Are we allowed? Let's see if he gets his head chopped off.
So what is Operation Twist? Come on, in 50 words or less.
50 words or less. It's the Federal Reserve pushing down long-end yields, the bond yield, the 10 and 30-year bonds, which a lot of corporate borrowing and household borrowing, mortgage rates are priced on the long end of the curve. So what the Federal Reserve does is borrow at almost zero interest rates at the short end of the curve. They buy the long bonds, pushing the yield down so that the real economy gets the benefit of easier monetary policy.
Excellent.
So that's so that corporates and home borrowers can borrow money at lower rates.
Well,
so just to encourage more borrowing, which is
almost all the mortgages in the US are still linked to the 30-year bond yield, and of course the Federal Reserve, when it puts its Fed funds rate at between 0 and 0.25 percentage points, has little impact on the 30-year bond yield. So in fact, even though they've cut rates, the impact on borrowers has been very small. So what they're doing is borrowing money at zero, buying these bonds, pushing the yields down, so that the real effect in the economy is through 30-year rates falling. We don't have that problem here in Australia because 90% of our mortgages are variable. The RBA moves rates. In a few weeks, we get the benefit or the cost of that.
You have to say that it's not getting a lot of traction. I mean, the American economy is fading again, isn't it? And that's part of the reason the market fell so much on Thursday and then later. I mean, the Philly Fed index was down a lot. Employment's soft. So what's going on?
Look, I think that there's just this chronic problem of a lack of confidence, that there's been such a big level of wealth destruction for the US consumer. Their house prices are still down 30-odd%. That's a massive erosion of wealth. Share markets, if you cut the volatility for a moment, are still significantly low. There's no employment prospect. Real wages are falling. There's, well, a version of austerity going on. We've got the election coming up in 4 or 5 months. Yeah, it's not good news and people are getting very concerned. There's also a fact that I think the earlier news that was a little bit better earlier this year was because the weather was warm. It was unseasonably warm winter. Builders got out and built and consumers went and spent. So there's a seasonal problem. We're getting the hangover of that coming back now.